Thunderpole T-800 Unboxing and First Look by Paul, Mike 0 Whiskey November Uniform, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 if you catch me on 11 metres and PMR 446.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Paul, Mike 0 Whiskey November Uniform, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 if you catch me on 11 metres and PMR 446. I've had a package delivered this morning. I did allude to it in the last video, which was uploaded yesterday. So what was in that package? Well, there was a couple of things, but this was one of them. This is the Thunderpole T-800. Now, I've heard a lot about this radio. I've seen this radio through its evolution on YouTube. So, a couple of quirks early versions of that radio had was that it had an atrocious amount of CPU noise, came with a small microphone at the time, and also had an RF gain that didn't work in FM mode. As far as I'm aware, most of these issues have been fixed, though I'm not sure if all of them have. The microphone issue I definitely know has been fixed. I've seen two people say the RF gain works in FM, and the CPU noise I believe may have been obliterated. So it's time to open the box and see what we got inside here. Bearing in mind that this box has been entered because I asked for them to put a cigarette lighter plug on the power cord for me, which they have done. So we get the owner's manual. Now, I don't think I'll need to refer to that, because I'm usually pretty good with stuff like this. A very familiar microphone, exactly the same as the one on the T-3000, rather than the small one that they originally supplied. I'll just move the box onto the floor. So, same microphone as the T-3000, and I believe they use this one on the T-2000 as well. So it's the same microphone. Very good, sturdy, rugged, unlike the small one that they provided originally. You get your bag full of hardware, which is mic clip, the rig bolts for putting the bracket on. The bracket's in the box somewhere. A permanently wired power lead with a fuse holder. I can't get that out without removing the main radio unit itself. So that's the radio. It's not that big, but it does kind of hark back to radios of yesteryear. But as I say, they've been nice enough to put a cigarette lighter plug on the end of that for me, rather than me having to go out and buy one and do it myself, which would be a bit more time consuming, and the bracket that the radio fits on, which we don't need right now. So I'll get rid of the inside of the box and unwrap this radio. So this is a 12 volt only radio. It's not a 12 and 24 volt, well it's 13.8 volts, plus minus 15%. So that's the radio. It's got this heatsink on the back, which might allude to some naughtiness, we shall say. So this can probably be turned up to about 8 watts or so. Don't ask me how to do that, because I don't actually know the modification. And it could probably also be put on to the 10 metre band. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the bench, going to power it up. It's got this little warning tag on as well that basically warns you don't connect it to anything that's more than 13.8 volts, and also don't press the PTT without the antenna connected, and it's also a negative chassis. So I'm going to pull this protective piece of plastic off the meter. So we've got S meter, which is basically 4 LEDs. It's a transmit meter as well, but as if you go to channel UK CB radio servicing, these are often just non-adjustable for the transmit meter, so it doesn't really have any bearing on how much power is actually coming out of it. So AM/FM switch, which doubles as a UK/EU switch. You've got channel 9, 19, and normal operation there. So let's see what else we got. So we've got the squelch, which is, try to grab the right one. Got that, a squelch, RF gain, volume control, up down channel selection. Right, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the other camera and we'll show this thing operating. Oh yeah, by the way, it's got an extension speaker there as well, so you can plug one of those in. So, right, I'll get the other camera out and we'll get this plugged in. Okay, radio's powered up and ready to go. So we're on channel 20 at the moment. So I'll try and bring the microphone into this camera. So we've got an auto squelch button on the top. Press that, knocks the auto squelch off. And push that, just puts it back on again. There isn't an auto squelch control on the radio, it's just a manual squelch. So if I turn that, there you go. So there's an RF gain control on there. I'll be testing that shortly with a weak signal from a different transmitter. One of my handhelds should do nicely for this. I was thinking one of the Intec one. Well, I'll say one of the Intec ones, the working one. So I've got a power meter. It's not on camera at the moment, but I will bring it in if I can. Here we go. So, well, got to see if I can bring that in. Just check and see where the wire from the dummy load is going. If I bring that in, put it on top of the radio, we're not interested in the SWR part, we're just interested in the power part. So I can put it there like that. You're looking at it at a bit of a funny angle to what I'm looking at it. So if I key this up, that's saying it's just shy of 3 watts. So I think it's probably doing about 2. Maybe 2.5. That's on UK channel 20. Okay, so I will have to refer to the instruction book for this next bit. So I'm now going to show you how to change the band, because you might not know how to do that. You might be looking at buying one of these and you might not know how. So it says in the book how to do it. It's got slightly different band selections to what the radio itself has. So if I turn off this radio, like so, then I push on the microphone, PTT, and the down key, turn on the radio. It comes up in UK mode. So using the up down on the radio, and I think you can do it on the mic as well, you can. So you've got an A, you've got a B, you've got a C, you've got a D, you've got an E, you've got an F, you've got a P, which I'm guessing is the Polish frequencies, N, no idea, CE, that's the CE, 40 watt AM FM channels, I'm guessing, G, no idea, I'll have to go through all of these, and then U. Doesn't tally up what's... Okay, not sure what band I'm in there. Obviously not the UK. So I've just selected the band. I'm not sure how I've done that. I think I pressed the auto squelch. So I'm going to have to put it back into UK mode. Yeah, it's in band A. So I want to be in U. Turn off the radio. Turn it back on. So now this switch puts it into the CE, which is FM, and in the UK, which is FM, which is what... So the microphone again is the same as the one on the T3000. I'll bring it in. So you've got that LED on the front. So if I key up, it doesn't light up, just like on the T3000, because that's a generic case used by Nanfone, the manufacturer, for various microphones, including a Bluetooth one, which can plug into the PNI Escort HP8001 and the Thunderpole T-3000. So that chart doesn't quite tally up with what's in the book, but that's how you would change the band. So you'd probably need a frequency counter to figure that one out, but the vast majority of people who are going to use this radio are going to use it in UK mode anyway. This tends to be the case. No point in me doing 1.9 for a rig check because I'm not connected to the antenna at the moment. So it puts out probably about 2 watts or so. I just think this meter's a wee bit
overzealous because it's a taggy one, and they also sell linear amplifiers, and they want their amplifiers to look as though they actually are pretty good. So there's no method to lock the keys on this, but that's okay, because it's just got all the controls that you're going to need. Now this RF gain control, this is the one that's got me very interested. So I'm going to pause it here, and then I'm going to find a handheld CB and see what happens. Okay, I've got my Intec H520 Plus, and I've set the power transmission level to 100 milliwatts. Now we are on a dummy load, so this thing will receive, as you can see here. I'm not going to bother connecting a speaker because I don't need to connect one. So I'm just going to push the button again and move that to arm's length. So what should happen, I turn that down to up there, you can see that RF gain control is actually working on FM. So that's 2 out of 3 little issues this radio has, or had in the past, that have been fixed. So I'll turn my H520 Plus back to full power and key it up, dead key next to the dummy load. Volume turned up. All I'm hearing is feedback. There's no CPU noise on that whatsoever. The CPU wine's gone. So all 3 of the issues that have plagued this radio in the past have all been fixed. CPU noise is gone, RF gain is now working on FM mode, and the microphone is a decent substantial size, unlike the one that was supplied with earlier models. Now I like these Thunderpole microphones, they're actually very good. So the next thing for me to do will be to get this radio on the air. I don't think I can actually do that today because I have other things to do which require that I be back home at 4 PM. So I might not have time to actually get that done. So I'll just conclude the video. So I'll go back to the main camera and I'll bring the radio back out.
Okay, so my first impressions of the Thunderpole T-800 current model CB radio. This is the latest revision of it, I believe. This one, I believe, has a recent serial number on it. So it's got an LED channel display and an LED signal meter, which I like in CB radios because they're a little easier to read sometimes than the LCD ones. It's got this lovely microphone which is supplied also with the T3000 and also the T2000. So much better than the microphone that they originally supplied. RF gain that works on FM. Squelcher isn't too bad. I'll put that to the test with the on-air test later. Auto squelch on the mic. Channel up down on the mic. It's the same microphone as the T3000. So it's all there. And the only thing I haven't really been able to listen to just so far is the transmit audio. So let's see. Let's bring my Intec back in just for that. 1 2 1 2. Turn that up a bit. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Audio 1 2 3 3 2 1. Yeah, that seems to be good. Yep. Just had to check my SWR meter there, just make sure everything was okay. Yeah, so would I recommend buying this? Well, after the on-air test, I'll let you know. And I'm hoping to do a car-to-car test with someone with this radio in their car and me with my T3000. Hence the cigarette lighter plug as well, because it would be a lot easier that way. So, basic set from the Nanfo Unstable, but otherwise, very good. I'll just bring it back in for you. Feels well made. I'm not going to open up the case to show you the circuit board because that would void the warranty, and I would like to keep the warranty intact. So I will be following up on this radio very soon, all being well. So stay safe, guys. Don't forget the virus is still out there. Just turn the radio off. And of course, if things are starting to return back to normal, but you still need to stay safe, guys. I don't want any of my subscribers or potential subscribers coming down with the coronavirus. So I'm just going to disconnect everything from the radio, apart from the power lead, because that's reasonably long enough. Yeah, it's £3 extra for the cigarette lighter plug on this radio, because it doesn't come with one normally. It comes with bare-ended wires, and I'm not a big fan of them on any radio equipment. So volume, squelch, channel change, 919, band select, channel up down, LED displays for everything, autosquelch and TX light. So the autosquelch light will go red when you're keyed up. It's a TX light as well, although may as well just have the meter. And got this nice die-cast heatsink on the back, which does allude to some modifications that could probably be done. It would probably work on the 10 meter band. So, yeah. The Thunderpole T-800. I like it already, and I haven't even put it on an aerial yet. So I'll probably put that on an aerial either later on today, or it might not happen till probably later on in the week. I might put it on my car's aerial today if I have time, and if the weather stays as glorious as it is. So 7.3s for now, guys, and I will put the on the air video up as soon as I get round to doing it. So that's the next one to look forward to, and hopefully I can get that car-to-car test sorted, because I would like to do that. So I'm just going to be asking around to see if anyone would be willing. So 7.3s for now, guys. And remember to stay safe. And also, enjoy your radio. And if you're new to CB, I would recommend a radio like the Thunderpole T-800 because it's simple and it's not menu driven. So it already gets a thumbs up from me for simply that. So I'll catch you in the next one.
Don't forget, you can subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to be notified of new videos as I upload them. 73s from Paul, Mike 0 Whiskey November uniform, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 on 11 metres and PMR 446.